carries a story. Some stories we share proudly, some stories we hide carefully. For years, my story lived behind a pink mask. Not because of COVID, not because of fashion, but because I wasn't ready for the world to see me. Good morning, one and all present here. I am Khanak. Before I begin, I want to be honest. There was a time when I couldn't look at myself in the mirror without immediately finding something to criticize. Most people wear masks to protect themselves from the world. I wore mine to protect my own insecurities. I didn't choose this journey, PCOS chose it for me. But today, I am choosing something different. I am choosing to speak, to be seen, and stop hiding. When PCOS first entered my life, I didn't understand what it was. All I knew that my body was changing, not in the simple or normal way people described while growing up. PCOS is a hormonal imbalance, a short definition, but a complicated reality. It brought changes I wasn't prepared for. Sudden acne, mood fluctuations, irregular periods, weight gain, and the most difficult part for me was the facial hair. At the age of 14, these things didn't just affect my appearance, it affected the way I saw myself and my confidence. School gradually became the hardest place for me. I clearly remember one day that changed everything. I was sitting in my class when a boy looked at me and said loudly, "Why do you have a mustache like a boy?" Another girl whispered, "Maybe you should have shaved before coming to the school." I pretended not to hear them. I smiled awkwardly and looked down. But deep inside, I felt humiliated. That day, I went home crying, staring my face in the mirror for hours, wondering why I looked so different from other girls in my class. From that moment, I became overly conscious of every look, every whisper, every small giggle around me. Even when no one said anything, I felt being judged. Slowly, I started to disappear. I avoided tying up my hair, avoided eye contact, and avoided attention. And most of all, I started wearing a mask. At first, the mask felt like protection. If people couldn't see my face, they wouldn't judge me. But when COVID happened, everyone started wearing masks. I had a strange sense of relief. For once, I blended in. But when the world returned to normal, I didn't. Everyone else removed their mask. I kept mine on. By then, I understood something that the mask wasn't protecting me anymore. It was my fear. I tried everything to feel normal: waxing, threading, home remedies, makeup. But nothing truly solved my problem because my real problem wasn't on my skin, it was in my mind. Finally, talking to my parents and doctors, I began the laser treatment at the age of 16. At first, I was embarrassed to even admit that I needed the treatment. Some part of me felt too young for such treatments, but the ridicule and the fear had taken so much from me. So I decided to take a step for myself. With every session, as the facial hair reduced, something else reduced too: the shame I had been carrying. Something else I understood was my confidence did not grow because my face changed. It grew because my mindset did. For years, I used to believe that the real problem was what people could see. But the problem was the voice in my head, which kept on saying, "You're not enough like this." But the day I started challenging that voice was the real day I removed my mask. I stopped measuring my worth by other people's opinion. Even PCOS didn't make me weak. The comments didn't define me. The mirror did not show me my value. I did. Today, I still have PCOS. I still have imperfect days. I still have moments of doubt. But they no longer control my life. Whenever I feel insecure, I don't hide anymore. I learn, I speak. I take care of my body. Because I've understood something that I am kinder to myself than the world ever was. You know, healing is just not medical, healing is emotional. Healing is accepting yourself the way you are. So, if anyone here feels different, anyone here avoids mirror, avoids pictures, or avoids attention, remember this one thing: the world doesn't want a perfect version of you, it wants the real one. Your struggles, your scar, that's your story. They are not to hide because they prove that you have survived something that tried to silence you. The one thing which I used to follow is the bravest part of me. Never listen to anyone or any other comments because they don't define you at all. One thing to remember is self confidence. When you have confidence, you achieve the world and your mindset. Thank you.